My focus right now is Sean Combs because he's a trafficker, most likely because he was victimized by his mentor, Clive Davis.
Rumor has it, allegedly, Diddy got on his knees for Clive Davis in 1994.
But he got a boss too, and his boss name is Clive Davis. Clive run him. Diddy don't run himself.
Diddy was just asked by the feds to snitch on Clive Davis, the mastermind behind Bad Boy Records and the sexual abuse of minors like Justin Bieber and Usher. Clive Davis is a man who has always controlled the music industry from behind the shadows. A plea deal offered by the feds might just reveal some of the darkest secrets in Hollywood, and Diddy, Will Smith, and Clive Davis are at the center of it all. This proves that Diddy wasn't running his sex trafficking ring alone, and some of the biggest names in the industry were involved in the abuse Diddy carried out.
Clive Davis put Sean Combs in position. That's what Clive Davis does. The amount of abuse that Janis Joplin suffered when she wanted to leave Clive Davis management. The amount of abuse Whitney Houston suffered when she was ready to write her book. And then all of the abuses that she suffered. You know, Luther Vandross, it was nasty work, Clive. Swinging it at Jay-Z's knees. I'm swinging it at Clive Davis's knees. And I'm swinging it at anybody else's knees who has had anything to do with this tyranny, with this evil.
Diddy's mentor, Clive Davis, signed some of the biggest names in the hip-hop industry, and he's the one who taught Diddy how to run Bad Boy. Clive helped Diddy set everything up and was actually the one who introduced Diddy to freak-off parties. Before Diddy, Clive Davis was the one setting up freak-off parties, and allegedly he held a party on the night that Whitney Houston died, while her body was in a bathtub at the same hotel. He knew that his biggest artist was dead a few floors away, but he didn't care. This same attitude was what we saw in Diddy.
And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clive Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he could get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons and he had a house and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not going to say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self.
Clive turned Diddy into the monster he is today, and allegedly Clive was involved in a relationship with Diddy. One person wrote on Twitter saying, Sean Diddy Combs was given his bad boy imprint by Arista's Clive Davis, who is openly gay. What Sean had to do for riches is not uncommon for successful black men in entertainment and politics. All that glitters is not gold. Run your race. Let the next man run his.
In the mid-'80s, I opened myself up to the possibility that I could have a relationship with a man, as well as the two that I had with a woman. I felt it was private, number one, as far as my not revealing it, but I did immediately reveal it to the people who count, my children. I have 4 children. I was totally open with my close friends. I just didn't hold the sign up, you know. And
Do you think that this...
also there was an attitude towards bisexuality, pervasive, that you're either gay, you're straight, or you're lying. It's not true.
Diddy took what he learned from Clive and started a cycle of abuse that is going on to this day. Like Clive, Diddy took Usher and Justin under his wing and abused them. Usher was just 13 when his mom handed him over to Diddy. Diddy told her that he would turn Usher into a star, and she had to trust him. Usher's mom knew what kind of person Diddy was, but she didn't care what happened to her son.
The result of being around that man, Sean Puffy Combs, I don't sleep to this day. I have a problem sleeping to this day. Like, yo, man, I'm here to work, man. I ain't sang in a week. I mean, I'm 13 years old, and I'm telling him, look, you're gonna put me in the studio, man. You got Biggie Smalls in there, you got Craig Mack in there. I'm not here to party with you. I don't want to go to the clubs. Matter of fact, I'm too young to even be in here. Why you got me in clubs? We would fight, we would tussle.
And I always say, stay with your kid. I don't care what they say, because they tried to push me out. They didn't want me in. They would actually say, you know, you're too close to the project. No, I'm not. Because remember, Usher went to stay with Puffy. Now that was a business decision right there, because I didn't know Puffy. I didn't know him.
How old was he?
Usher was 15. He lost his voice.
Physically or just?
You know, puberty. He's growing and he lost his voice. So he lost his range. So the record company felt like, okay, this is not a great investment. So Puffy was there, and I will never forget it. We had this conversation and he said, you're going to have to trust me. That was really, really a hard decision.
Usher was introduced to sex, and during his time with Diddy, would even hang out with sex workers. Usher himself confirmed some of the other allegations in an interview with Rolling Stone magazine. In 2004, during the era of Usher's Confessions album, Usher said in a Rolling Stone interview that Diddy introduced him to a totally different set of sex, specifically. Usher noted that sex is so hot in the industry, man, and remembered that in Diddy's home, there were always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an orgy. You never knew what was going to happen.
I moved to New York City, and I lived with Sean Puffy Combs for a year.
That's the crazy thing. Now, that was L.A. Reid's idea, right? We're sending you over to something called Puffy Flavor Camp.
There you go.
To learn
Flavor Camp.
Yeah,
Flavor
that's
Camp.
what it was called. And you're going to go to Puff Daddy's. He's going
In the 90s, do you understand what that's like?
Puffy's place was like just filled with chicks and orgying like nonstop, right?
No, not really. I mean, but hey, it was curious. I got a chance to see some things.
Yeah, but you were 13. What were you seeing?
I went there to see the lifestyle,
right?
And I saw it, and it was, but I don't know if I could indulge and understand what I was even looking at. It was pretty wild.
So nobody tried to, some woman didn't come along.
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I didn't say that. What I did say is that there were very curious things taking place, and I didn't necessarily understand it.
Biggie Smalls was there.
Biggie Smalls was there. Lil' Kim, Craig Mack.
All these people are hanging around.
Yeah, man. Faith Evans,
And your parents
Jodeci,
were
Mary
okay?
J. Blige. They didn't know nothing about this shit.
Oh.
I was having a good time. You know what I mean?
Does he have you doing any chores? Are you doing dishes at all? I mean, to keep you humble somewhat? Or are you just like, can you stay up till 4 a.m. with them and party?
I mean, I could. I actually stayed up longer than them.
And do you have money? What's going on?
I mean, I had like per diem.
Yeah.
I had like,
what
like
a
a living.
life.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
14 years old. You're a dad now. Would you ever send your kid to Puffy Camp?
Hell no.
As Usher grew up, he became a regular at Diddy's freak-off parties and would hang out regularly with Diddy. There were rumors that Diddy had sexually abused Usher when Usher was living with him, but Usher never revealed the truth. Perhaps a clear sign of this abuse, Usher ended up catching herpes. In 2018, Usher was sued for spreading herpes to 2 women and 1 man. Usher paid $1.1 million to get the case dismissed.
We want to thank you. Come here. Don't sit on the bed at night. No homo. No, just don't get close to the bed. Don't get close. But it's just like, we want to thank you for hosting the thing, man. It's been a pleasure. You didn't have to do it, and you did it.
No. I definitely didn't have to do it. I definitely didn't have to. First and foremost, I'm not getting in the bed. Shout out to him and what he did. I'm just gonna, if we can, let's just put the camera a little this way, just so we're not. I don't want my shot to even, I don't want it to come close to the bed at all. Usher look like he fresh off a goddamn plane. Usher.
Fresh off the guard stage. That's my brother right here from day one. We used to wake up and, pause, but like that's how. Back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older, his older brother, we used to fight over the Frosted Flakes. You know what I'm saying? Before pause was invented. You know what I'm saying? But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the Frosted Flakes because he used to always get up early with me. Now he's one of the richest stars in the world. And I love him.
What the f did Puff just say? Nobody's going to acknowledge this for me. Puff just said we used to wrestle over the Frosted Flakes. And we're streaming live. That was stupid. Listen, that was fucking stupid. Listen.
We're having a good time.
About Usher, they were obtained by Radar Online, and apparently back in 2009 or 2010, he had contracted herpes and passed it on to a celebrity stylist having unprotected sex with her. He had to pay $1.1 million to that woman for severe emotional distress, and he also covered her medical bills. That case was settled back in 2012. Now, allegedly, there was a greenish discharge from his penis.
Whoa, that's a booger. You can get penis boogers? I didn't know that.
He said he went to the doctor. He was cleared of any STDs, so the woman went on and continued. Now, if I notice a greenish discharge oozing out of your penis.
Exactly. This ain't Nickelodeon.
I don't know that I would
That ain't
continue.
slime. What you gonna say? I know all these kids playing with slime nowadays, but no.
I don't care who you are, okay?
Nothing green supposed to be coming out your penis.
Nah, not at all.
That's not how this works.
Nope.
Yellow comes out my penis and white.
Usher would later become friends with Diddy, and when he started singing artists himself, Usher handed Justin Bieber right over to Diddy. Usher knew what Diddy was planning to do with Justin, but he didn't care. Justin was contacted by Usher's record company, LaFace Records. Usher's manager, L.A. Reid, realized that Justin could be the next big thing and immediately signed him on. It was only after Usher realized that Diddy wanted him. Did Usher get serious about Justin?
I was flown out to Atlanta by a manager. His name's Scooter Braun. Flown out to Atlanta just to meet with him and meet different producers and different people. I was actually going to meet Jermaine Dupri at his studio. And who rolls up? Usher in his Range Rover. It rolls up, and I was like, "Is that who I think it is?" And Scooter was like, "Yeah." And so I ran up to him and I was like, Usher, I love your songs. You want me to sing you one?" And he was like, "Let's just go inside, little buddy. It's cold out." So the politest possible way he could say no, he did. And I was like, wow, he just turned me down. And I was a little disappointed. He had to go into a studio session, so I was like, whatever. And a week later, he actually watched my videos with my manager and was like, oh my gosh, why didn't I let him sing? So flew me back to Atlanta where I got to meet him again. And he wanted to sign me. But there was something else.
Justin Timberlake, right?
Yes, Justin Timberlake also wanted to sign me. It was like kind of like what happened was Justin Timberlake and Usher both went into a ring and boxed it out. And the outcome was Usher. I think it was a TKO.
Justin was abused by Diddy and even now is struggling with drug abuse. Justin distanced himself from Diddy and Usher, but with the trial now creeping closer, it looks like Justin is suffering. Footage of Justin crying and rumors that he has been struggling with drug use has come forward.
I don't think he's coming back out anytime soon.
I'm scared that you're I'll fucking run it.
I do feel bad, sorry for him. We're all trying to bombard.
I'm not going to put a vehicle to me.
Justin Bieber's rep is breaking their silence on recent rumors regarding drug use. A rep for the singer, who shares 6-month-old son Jack Blues Bieber with wife Hailey Bieber, is firing back at recent claims that Justin has been using hard drugs. His rep tells TMZ on February 23rd that it's, quote, absolutely not true. His team adds that it's been a very transformative year for Justin as he, quote, ended several close friendships and business relationships that no longer served him. As Justin's 31st birthday approaches on March 1st, he's focused on his family and his music, not speculation about his health, which his rep calls, quote, exhausting and pitiful, and shows that despite the obvious truth, people are committed to keeping negative, salacious, harmful narratives alive.
Another huge name associated with Diddy is Will Smith. And unfortunately, the rumors surrounding him are just as disgusting as the ones Diddy is involved in. Will Smith was a regular at Diddy's freak-off parties and would go there with his wife, Jada. He is one of the few people who has publicly tried to deny the Diddy allegations. During a comedy appearance in San Diego, Will Smith joked, "I haven't been anywhere near those damn freak-offs," adding, "I don't even like baby oil." This statement was in response to allegations against Diddy, which mentioned Will Smith as a close associate.
But the world we're in right now, it's really hard for y'all to like discern what's real and what's true, you know? And I've been seeing y'all memes and stuff. People be making memes. I see the memes. I say, no, some of that stuff is funny. Some of it's funny. But I haven't addressed any of this publicly, but I just want to say this very clearly. I don't have to do with Puffy, so y'all can stop all them memes. I can stop all of that. I ain't been nowhere near no damn freak off. Listen, I do enough of my own. Don't be putting me in other people's. I ain't been nowhere near that man. I ain't did none of that stupid. So, whenever y'all hear it, if somebody say that, it's a damn lie. I don't even like baby oil. But I haven't said that publicly. I just said y'all the first time. I usually don't respond to dumb stuff because it's like people. It's so many things people say, so much stuff, but you know that one it was your memes was doing too much. Y'all was having me mad.
Apparently, Will and Jada were even involved in a threesome with Diddy while Diddy was dating J-Lo.
When you were dating J-Lo, Will Smith and Jada tried to pick her up on a threesome and you were going to beat up Will Smith. Is that true?
You really heard that? Nah.
What? Yeah, I watched it on the internet. You're telling me I can't believe everything I read?
What? I don't know what you're talking about.
You look fantastic.
All right, good to see you. We gotta go. We're blocking traffic.
Oh, we got it. Oh, we're blocking.
I'm sorry.
What do you say about the allegations? There's like, like so many rumors. Anything you want to say? We suing. I know that's right. Thank you, Miss Pinkett.
It's not just Diddy that Will was sexually involved with. Allegations of an intimate relationship between Will Smith and Dwayne Martin, put forward by Will Smith's closest security guard, are only some of the recent issues plaguing Will's marriage with Jada. Industry insiders claim that Will has been cheating on Jada for decades, and the real list of everyone he has been with would shock you.
And then I saw sexual acts that I walked in on.
Who'd you walk in on?
Him and Dwayne Martin.
Okay.
Hollywood is the hurry up and wait game. So 3 minutes later, after them telling me, "Hey, you got eyes on Will. We need him to come watch this." So I'm running all over the studio. He's not in his dressing room. I go to the cafeteria. I'm like, "What?" But I see his car there. I'm like, "Where's this guy at?" So now I'm holding Dwayne down too. So I have the keys to his dressing room. So I'm like, "Yo," and they're calling I'm on walkie-talkie and they calling my cell phone. "Yo, we need to get Will here." I'm like, "Yo, kind of fuck down." Like, I'm trying to find this. Like, this is unlike him, right? So, all right, I open the door to Dwayne's dressing room, and that's when I see Dwayne and having anal sex with Will.
Let me process that for a second.
There was a couch, and Will was bent over on the couch, and Dwayne was standing up, killing him. Like, murder. It was there.
The real shocker is what Will was allegedly doing with his son, Jaden. Like Usher and Justin, Jaden's parents didn't care what happened to their son either. There are videos of Jaden at Diddy's freak-off parties, and industry insiders like Jaguar Wright have already talked about the disgusting things that were going on behind the scenes.
Jada Pinkett has written a book where she reveals that multiple times she tried to commit suicide.
I don't know why she keeps trying. She just get it done. Don't be bad at everything.
Shit. Yeah.
You was an all right actress. You was a terrible wife. You was a bad mother. You was a character who knew that your husband was doing things to boys and did stuff to your son and you ain't do shit about it. Bilal told me everything. Bilal told me, Jada, he told me that you knew Will was f***ing your child. As he did. Wonder why he left that out of his Tasha K interview. He said everything but the thing that was important. That he know that Will Smith, Jaden, Bashir, and he ran Neat Mills, and you know it, Bilal.
As a result of the abuse Jaden suffered, Jaden stepped away from Hollywood. His relationship with Justin Bieber, with footage of the two kissing at Coachella, is also a sign that something is seriously wrong. Abuse victims often become friends with each other to get over their shared pain. Diddy is a groomer, and when you let someone like him into your house, your children are bound to suffer.
I'm at school sometimes. My dad will just pull his pants down.
Hey! Will is always, Will is always playing. He
Okay.
Kiss my son.
Come on.
Jaden jumped up and ran.
No, not on the set he wasn't trying to kiss me, but after the set he'll try to kiss me or anywhere else.
So what do you think? Is Jaden still too old to get kissed by his dear old dad?
I love Justin Bieber, that's just a fact.
Well, talk about brotherly love. You couldn't miss this moment on your feeds. Justin Bieber giving pal Jaden Smith a kiss on the cheek at Coachella.
I'm having a good time.
The now viral video shows Jaden sneaking up from behind the Biebs, grabbing his waist for a little dance, and then there's this, Justin sweetly giving his bro a kiss, something that's become the talk of the internet.
He's really just like a brother to me.
Yeah, these two go way back.
Guess who? J. Smith and JB. I got you, little bro.
That's 16-year-old Justin and 11-year-old Jaden when they collaborated on the pop star's 2010 song, Never Say Never.
I think that it's cool to just collaborate with people who you know.
Diddy was given custody of Justin for 48 hours, and no one knows what he did with Justin during that time. Justin had to sign an NDA and wasn't allowed to tell anyone what really occurred. After this interaction, Justin tried to distance himself from Diddy, and one time when Diddy tried to pressure him into hanging out with him, Justin was clearly uncomfortable and scared.
Justin Bieber turned 15, and it suddenly seemed that Hollywood was keen to almost initiate him. I think that's the right word. Like there was almost like this initiation that he needed to go through. So I want you to be now super uncomfortable and watch this video of an interaction between him and none other than Diddy. Take a listen.
Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, like, you know, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. You know, I have been given custody of him. You know, he signed to Usher.
Signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when you know he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. So and we gonna go full crazy.
There is a literal mountain of evidence that is being unearthed right now, and Diddy and his accomplices are going down. Hundreds of witnesses have been interviewed, and the feds are going to send Diddy behind bars. Cassie witnessed firsthand how Diddy ran his criminal empire, and she's ready to testify. Rolling Stone has revealed that Cassie is victim one in the federal indictment and stated she is the central figure in the case.
The allegations implicate dozens of unidentified witnesses and allege co-conspirators around the world. And some of the key witnesses to the supposed incidents are dead, basically meaning how can we defend against it? The defense is not even permitted to share the identities of the individuals described in the disclosure letter with Mr. Combs until April 18th, further hampering defense counsel's ability to investigate. Collectively, these new allegations require many months, if not years, to investigate, and if admitted, would require a series of mini-trials certain to double the length of a trial the government originally said would last 3 weeks. So this is an explosive allegation that on its face, I don't know if I necessarily disagree with. If they are bringing in evidence of uncharged conduct, wouldn't the defense have an opportunity to investigate it and challenge it? It seems like they're making a point. So if this evidence is allowed in, there is a chance this could delay the trial significantly. We all know Combs wants to go to trial, but how can he properly defend himself against this in just a few weeks?
Anyways, I want to also just show you this montage. This is a montage that was shared by Evie Magazine. They do great work on their TikTok of Justin Bieber, again, just 15 years old, in Hollywood, surrounded by a bunch of adults. And you let me know if any of this registers to you as normal. Take a listen.
Wow. I feel violated right now. Wow.
Lean into me again. You smell amazing. How old are you?
Thank you.
How old are you?
I'm 16. I'll be 17 in like 2 weeks.
I don't ever remember smelling that good at 16. Like that was bad. Yeah. Wow, look at your eyes. Look at what a beautiful face. Oh.
Diddy was offered a lighter sentence in exchange for snitching on his accomplices, but he said no. Just who is pressuring Diddy to stay quiet? Diddy isn't the kind of person to sacrifice himself for someone else, so why is he scared? Just how far does this conspiracy go, and who is involved?
And Caitlin, let's start with you. What happened, or what has happened in court today?
It was a pretty big day in court, Connell. We actually learned that Diddy was offered a plea deal in this case, which he rejected. Not really a surprise that when one was put on the table, he said no. He has vehemently maintained his innocence this entire time. I could not see a world where he would accept any kind of plea deal. So we heard that today. The other big takeaway from court, and we are in crunch time now, just less than 2 weeks before this is going to start and go to trial. The now infamous video of Diddy and Cassie in that hotel room where he is seen allegedly attacking her will be played in court for jurors. Now, the original video, the original surveillance doesn't exist anymore. So we have a copy that was obtained by CNN. Obtained by CNN, yes. And it was taken by a cell phone video. So you're going to have the person who took the video testifying in court and independent people there that are going to authenticate it. But the jury is going to see that. The other types of evidence that they're going to see is going to be video of these alleged freak-offs, these sex parties that Diddy had. And this is going to be an important thing about jury selection.
Interesting. We're going to talk about all of that in a minute. Anything on his demeanor, or anything on from that we picked up from Diddy today?
Yeah, it was different than usual. He got into the courtroom with his pad of paper and his pen really intently ready to just take notes. And he looked back into the gallery where he usually sees a row of family members and friends, supporters of his. But when he turned around and looked in the gallery, none of his children were there today, and he visibly looked upset. Now, about 10 minutes into the hearing, his son Justin did come in and sit in the gallery. Diddy turned a second time, looked directly at him, kind of nodded, and acknowledged that his son was in the courtroom today. But you could really tell that it impacted him when he turned back and did not see any kind of friendly face, Connell.
With no other escape in sight, Diddy's lawyers are now arguing that Diddy was too drugged to realize that what he was doing was wrong. Notice how they're not denying that what Diddy did was wrong, nor are they trying to deny that it happened. They know that there's too much evidence for them to fight against.
At that moment, he does not have mens rea because he is operating completely outside of himself because of his sheer grief and the horror that he was just subjected to, that his mind has snapped, and he's not responsible at that moment for having the kind of logic you would have. Make sense? And they're saying, basically, because of drugs, Diddy was so out of his mind, apparently for a number of years, over 64,000 victims by some counts, right? Allegedly, yeah. Right? That he wasn't able to do it. Pat's right. You know what this is? This is a Hollywood script they're trying to write. You know what this is, Pat? This is a Hail Mary against the wind in a snowstorm in Buffalo. That's what this is. And it's being called out by newspapers that are like, and the headline should be this, Pat, is that the best you got?
Yeah.
That's your alibi? That for a period of years, apparently he had no marbles.
Yeah.
You want us to believe that.
Well, he had some marbles, but they weren't his.
And I think even the best lawyers, best defense lawyers in the world have a hard time putting a defense up when the evidence becomes so compelling and the stack gets higher. And I think that's what I suspect that's what's happening here. When they have to go to the point that say, oh, he was completely out of his mind doing drugs. Really? Which ones? The ones he supposedly committed in New York? The ones he supposedly committed at the VMA Awards? The ones he supposedly committed in LA? Which ones are we talking about?
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. Because this rabbit hole, we're just getting started.